Hey, good evening, everyone. It is another new moon approaching, and February 1st, the day is the full moon, the new moon, sorry. The full moon's passed. The new moon, stepping up, stepping out, the full moon. What do they have to do with each other? The reason, for those of you that do not know what stepping up and stepping out, making 2022 is all about, is I will preface and tell you the reason I created it was a TV show back in 2017, and it helped a lot of people. It helped me stay on track. And I said to myself, why do I still have one or two or three of these goals unattained from maybe even 10 years ago on my list of goals to attain in 2016? Why did I have these things hanging left over? And I devised a system while I was thinking under the full moon that said, hey, every month, well, every 28 plus days, there's a full moon. And if I don't see it in the sky because of clouds, I will surely see it online. We're all online. I will surely see people posting beautiful full moon images over lakes, over the ocean, over the mountains, through the trees, wherever they see them, from postcards, quotes, everything. Why? We're all inspired by the new moon. The magnetic powers are also we can use to our advantage. And the new moon is very similar, however, it lacks light. That's where I thought I would just do the full moon at first, and then I said no, because to build a habit takes 3 weeks to get into the swing of things. So if we go 4 weeks, there's a chance we're going to fall out and forget and lose our focus and get busy with life. So the new moon came into play. Now it's like every 14 days, no excuse. You got the new moon. You can set, there's an app. You can go find apps online, new moon, full moon, moon, lunar phases, anything like that. Moon Giant is what I use, what I've used forever. They're really cool, and you can donate money to them if you want, because they got a cool app. And it's right in an app in the phone. It shows you exactly what the phase of the moon is. It's on my screen. It's a reminder just because it's on my screen. And that I have to stick. My goal is to stick with my goals that I wrote down in the new year. I'm just thinking so many people don't actually reach their goal. It's a small percentage of people that do. Why? We forget. The new year is a big celebration, isn't it? Like a reminder, just like the new moon and the full moon in its big brightness in the sky and online images. We have no escape from that. So that is a tool I chose to use. And I was talking about in another video about creativity. And this is part of my creativity to solve the challenge that's ongoing for years, because some of the goals that I didn't achieve that I wanted to, I finally achieved by using this method. And as a result of it, I have more energy, I'm happier, I get through the challenges, and we can stay above the noise, right? We can make our life the way we want it and not get beat down. So I've got 3 tools here to use So I'll just do a quick review. So every new moon, there's a lot of energy in the new moon. There are phases in the moon where you let go of the old stuff and you start planning or changing for the new moon, the whole cycle of the moon, right? So the new moon is where we will start saying, okay, I didn't do this. This is what I'm going to do. This is my goal for this period. So this is a step, right? So stepping up, stepping out. So we're stepping every month a little higher, a little deeper, a little more powerful, a little more into our goals. And we're building the momentum we need to get to where we want to go each month. So a month goes by and you wanted to do this and you wanted to do that, but it didn't happen. You got started, but it didn't happen. So now here's a month. You review your goals again. What did you accomplish? How much of it did you accomplish? Did you get 10% of it done, 5%, 50%, 75%? Knock it out of the park and actually get that goal done. Now you've got to energize that and keep it with momentum to build the momentum, start the momentum, repeat, rinse and repeat, and build and strengthen yourself inside and outside. Become resilient to the noise that keeps coming at us, whether it's online, from other people, things we read, things we see. But take time to get away from that noise and build your inner strength to push that noise away. The less than useful things that we don't want to have in our life. So the new moon comes along and you have your New Year's resolution. What comes first? I don't know, but we're at a new moon coming up. So I would invite you to use the power of the new moon. Now is the period, the 7 days before the new moon. The goal is to get rid of the stuff that didn't work. Just dump. It's like a dumping time. All the stuff that you don't want anymore, review it. I will not allow this in my life any longer. That's as important as focusing on the goals, because the things that you allow in your life that you don't want in your life are distractions. And there's a lot of old stuff. We need to shed that. We have 12 months, 12 phases. And if it's like there's some blue moons, you get 13 months in some cases this year. I don't think it's that year, but that is not a big issue. The big issue is starting and paying attention to the cycles. So the new moon is to, if you didn't do anything last month, go back to your New Year's goals, your resolutions. Get them down, revisit them, and maybe reevaluate if they're not exactly what you want, or recharge them, energize them. So give them more power and make them stick. So for 14 days, you'll be building on that, building on that. And the new moon is when you want to do some strong actions. There's a lot of magnetism going around, as evidenced by the sea, right? As the power of the tides and more. The moon is very powerful. There's no negating that. And the bright light in the sky, we're all in awe. Use that to your advantage. Then during the full moon part is when you want to actually live into those goals and use them. But you keep building this. You keep working on these goals and building them until the end of the year. Each month, more energy, more power, more gained, and you'll probably add onto those goals because you have now reached a higher level. Hence, stepping up and stepping out, making 2022 your best year yet. So I noticed an energy shift, a big positive energy shift of things going on in maybe the last 60, 90 days. I don't know how many days, but a lot of good, positive stuff going on in my life. And I was speaking with someone I hadn't spoken to for a long time, had a long, in-depth discussion, 90 minutes. And we both spoke of this, and it's the way energy works. We ended up on a call and we had some really similar, powerful, positive experiences. Why? Because we focus and do these things. So there is that connection, that energetic connection, even though it's on the other side of the world. Energy is amazingly powerful. Use it to your advantage. So I'm just going to review 3 things that I wrote down. I don't usually make these lists, but today I decided, what 3 things could I offer to anyone, whether you're just starting or you're advanced in your goals in the way that you want to lift up your life. These things are some things, when you master them, say, oh, I heard that before. Okay, you heard it, but did you master it? Did you use it to an advantage? Is your life really where you want it to be? Or on a pathway of joy and pleasure and happiness? Is it there? And if it's not, say why. And what do you need to change? What is it on your list of goals? Because more of us have New Year's goals and resolutions than we don't, okay? More of the planet. So, number 1, when we're asking questions, some people say, well, why does that always happen to me? Well, I can say that I always have parking and all the good things that happen. I will say that. I know why it happens, okay? Because I focus on the upside. I have an expectation of nothing but the best. Whatever that is, I don't know what that is, but good things just keep happening. So when you open yourself to the gifts of the universe, and they keep showing up, and you don't say, well, that figures, that always happens, which is a negative connotation. Don't go there. Expect when you're responding to a situation, really put some energy behind it, positive energy. Don't say, well, that figures, that always happens, that figure. No, change that scenario and change your life. I am not going to let this happen again. What must I do? What must I do? I don't want this in my life. What changes do I need to do? That's a positive, useful question. Guess what? When you ask that question, you will get an answer, and it will be a useful answer. So, number 1 is ask useful, empowering, uplifting questions that are going to give you useful answers. Don't ask questions that are going to keep you going in a downward spiral or take you in a downward spiral. Don't ask those questions. Just don't. Think about it, write it down. Right after this, write down 5 questions that you just think about how you respond to things. And if it's less than useful and it's not a positive thing, say, wow, Peter struck a note. What if I do ask these questions that force a positive answer from me, from the universe, from God, from wherever it comes from the muse, I don't know where half of my stuff comes from when I'm talking and speaking, because I don't like write it down. It's just a gift, okay? And it's just a summary of the experiences, or a sum of the experiences and the energy that I put out and that you put out, that we put out together, is what we get back. So put out positive, useful questions. Number 2 is, I was reading a post in a paper on a challenge, and it was on an expat newspaper here in Thailand. And they said, nobody has said they were happy with what the government's doing about a test and go being reinstated, because they stopped where you could just go. You can come here, spend the night, get tested, and go all around Thailand. They stopped that for a reason. But then they started it again. But these people had nothing positive to say about it. And man, I signed up to make sure I could put in, and woman, and I signed up and made sure I can put in my comments. And I said, you're all a bunch of whiners. Publicly, I said that. I said, if you can't be grateful and find that you're not in Australia where they're locking people down, putting people, or you're not prior in, like you're not in Austria, or you're not in some other country where they just stopped all this stuff and said, you got to do what we say, then you're missing the boat, baby. You're missing the boat, because we must be grateful and find the upside of the moment, of everything, the beauty. If it didn't rain, or if it does rain, and if it's cloudy, or if it's sunny, or if it's hot, or if it's cool, find the positivity in that. Find the reason. There's a good reason for all of it, right? There's always an upside. So it's our job to be grateful for the moment, whatever it is, whether it's comfortable for us or not. And does it always have to be something that you like? No, but it's a passing moment, and realize it, that it's not a big weight. It's momentary. It's only for the moment. The moment might be a minute, might be a day, might be a week, but there is always the good in it somewhere. It is life. Find the life cycle and let it lift you up. So have an attitude of gratitude. And through the day, just be grateful for all the little stuff. You'll find your life will shine much brighter when you do that. You'll be able to take on the big stuff when you handle and you find the beauty in the little stuff. It builds, again, there's that word, momentum. Momentum. It's tough, but it's doable. How do I know? I know because my attitude wasn't always shiny like that. And it's not pie in the sky stuff. It's real for me. And yeah, I get the challenges, but let's focus on the upside. That keeps us in a joyful, happy state. And when people see us or see that, they're like, why? Everything is so bad. No, it isn't. Everything is so good. Find the good in everything you do. Find the good in everything around you. Find the good. That's that number 2, right? So ask questions that are useful. Number 2, attitude of gratitude. Be grateful for the little things and the big things. And lastly, a smile. There's a cassette tape by Paramahansa Yogananda called The Smile Millionaire. I have it right in my cabinet behind me. And if you don't smile, my wife asked me the other day, what's so funny? What are you smiling about? It was in the morning. And I'm just preparing my breakfast, and I chose to start smiling because I wanted to really feel good. And I don't know about you, maybe you do this too. I hope so, because I'll be driving down the road and I see the traffic, and people are just doing what they do every day, the same old stuff. And some are not, okay? But most are. And I just decide to smile and find the joy in it all. And do I always? No, but I work hard to do that. I work hard to find the joy. Even if I'm not feeling it, I will start smiling. And that smile goes a long way. So now, if I start smiling and I go into a marketplace or buy some food or something, or I interact with anybody, any place, anytime, and I smile, and I get a smile back, some people don't. But I find that that's a smaller percentage. I drive around my little village here, and there are just some people, like in life, we all know, they're just happy. They smile, they're light spirited, and they wear life as a loose garment. Not so serious about life, that they're enjoying life. And we all really are here to enjoy life, not endure life. Don't take it on every day. Like, I mean, I see some people. I mean, this guy's got a beautiful house. He got a brand new Benz, and he just can't smile. And he's just like, I don't know what his situation is. He may have some big challenge in his life, but it doesn't matter. But we can bring a smile to the world, not trying to pick any single class or anybody out. That when we find a moment to crack, I like to say crack the moment, because some people, just the day is so serious, and the weights are so heavy sometimes on people that they forget there's joy in life. There's energy in life. There's positivity in life. And we have to choose. We got to do it. It's a job. It's hard. It's tougher than ever right now for all of us. So we have to work extra hard. So what about that? We got to work hard, right? We've had things so easy. And the bit of a challenge is that we've been fed so much info through our phones, and some of the info is not healthy for us. And I just digress to the smile, okay? Use it. It's a simple tool, very easy to use, sometimes hard for some people to find it, but practice, and build the smile momentum. And 3 questions. Ask the positive, useful questions. Number 1, ask positive, useful questions. Number 2, be grateful. Just go through the day. Even if you find 1 thing today and 2 things tomorrow and 3 things the next day, and double that to 6 and double that to 12. Little things. The fresh air, the sound of the leaves, the sound of the wind, the sound of someone laughing down the street, the sound of the birds, the taste of a cool glass of water, clean water, or some food that you really like, or some people that you really like. Appreciate every moment in every day, and you will have no choice but to build that attitude of gratitude and have a much more happy, joyful life that you can have. And say it's difficult to get there sometimes. Yes, I know. Work at it. This Peter Stone saying, step up, step out, make this new moon a time for change, and engage in the goals that you have for yourself, and make the world around you better by being better, being the best you can. Please subscribe. Please follow us here and engage. Leave your questions, important, and leave your comments. What works for you? Please give me some feedback of what you've done, what you find that works, because I'm only sharing what I know, and there probably is hundreds of other things that can be done. Please share them with the world. Put them down here. Let's talk about them. Let's share about them, and let's be grateful for the things we learn every day. This is Peter Stone saying thanks. See you on the full moon.